poor little bug on the wall. Ding, ding. No one to love him at all. Ding, ding. No
What
one
is
to...
that?
It's a song about a bug, of course. What kind of question is that?
Clearly I'm a moron.
It's from Bluey, so I can see why. So I think it's an Australian song, or maybe it's a Bluey original. I literally don't know, but it's been stuck in my head for like 2 days. It's an episode called Butterfly, I believe. So,
okay, we should probably start the episode.
Yeah.
well, yeah, we should probably podcast. That's why we're here. Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome to Bugs Need Heroes, a podcast where an artist and an entomologist team up to illustrate the inspiring abilities of insects by creating a bug-themed superhero. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kelly. Breathe, Amanda.
Yeah, producer Derek and Rotunda are also here. Before we get started creating this bug-inspired hero, what's bugging you, Kelly?
that was very quick.
I'm listening. That's my Frasier voice. I'm listening, Seattle.
Amanda sounds highly caffeinated this morning.
Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Shibba-da-ba-ba-da.
You know, so that's how it's good. What's bugging you, Kelly?
Not too much, I guess. I had like a little mole removed on my arm.
Oh, that's the worst. We're gonna be scar buddies now. Mine's right here.
Oh yeah, I can actually see it. I'm surprised they can see it on the video. Usually, you can't.
It's a gnarly one. I like a little salty that it's so gnarly. Because like, why'd you do that to me, bro? I just need a mole removed. I didn't need like this
they
like
have to
bullet wound scar.
Yeah, they have to go like so much wider than the mole so that they can, I don't want to be gross on the pub, but so they can seal it properly and it doesn't.
Yeah. They use their tiny little lightsaber on you.
Yeah. That's cauterizer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. I asked a million questions. I'm probably the most annoying person to operate on unless I'm asleep because I need to know everything that's happening. I did make the mistake of looking. Don't do that. Doesn't look. No, don't do it. I'm not squeamish at all, but I saw the inside of my body and I didn't need to.
Not to be gross on the podcast. This will probably get cut. So sorry, Derek. I've seen my insides twice. I don't know if we've mentioned that before.
Oh, because you're a baby.
Because of my C-sections.
Right? Yeah.
Have you ever seen your own guts? Because I have. And it kind of messes with you. It kind of does things to your brain that you've seen your own guts.
Well, I think it reminds you that you're made of
guts. Yeah.
Things. Yes. Yeah.
You're just an electrified meat suit, friend. Anyway.
Yeah. But I think it's healing okay. It happened on Thursday, and last night I slept in this morning. I thought I was going to be late to the pod because in the middle of the night I rolled over onto my arm.
Oh, bro.
And woke up with the worst feeling, and then couldn't get back to sleep because I was in pain.
Yeah.
Finally got back to sleep, and it completely reset my sleep cycle. So did extra sleeping this morning.
That's
okay. How about you? What's bugging you?
Oh, well, into the glamorous world of motherhood once again we trudge. My son this week, my beautiful boy, has had an upset tummy. And it has produced itself as a upset booty. So
really?
I have had to clean my rug 5 times.
Oh no.
I finally took it.
My
back's. Oh yeah. So my back is a little sore because I took the main living room rug. I took it out to the backyard with the intentions of just hosing that sucker down.
Yeah,
he's lived a hard life this week. He called them squirty farts because,
of course, he did.
Because he's 4.
Yeah,
and they just kept sneaking up on him. They just kept.
You got to tell him not to trust it. Don't trust him.
Eventually, he learned that lesson, but he had this thing where like he felt fine, and then he needed to go right now.
Yeah,
right now.
Poor. I can't imagine a little kid handling that.
Yeah, and he just didn't make the run. The 10 feet to the bathroom was too long. So I took my rug out back, and I just dumped some dollar store carpet cleaner on it, which is the best stuff, which means it's probably made of like pure ozone.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be bad for the environment. And just scrubbed the heck out of that poor rug. And then I left it outside to dry yesterday because it was in the mid 80s. I gotta roll it back up and take it back inside today.
So you gotta. Would you say you're rolling up dung? Is that what's happening?
My gosh,
over at your house?
You are absolutely correct. I am rolling up. Well, hopefully I'm rolling up what used to be a place for dung, but is now no longer a place for dung. Ugh. But I've had a very dung-filled week, which appropriate for this week's episode, which is dung beetles.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost as if your sweet little son was in on the joke.
I promise you, if he can be in a joke about dung beetles, he absolutely will be. The boy loves a poop joke. And we've had to like discourage some of those things. We're like, you're a poop, you know.
Yeah.
Classic little boy things to say. Are we going to say poop this episode, or are we going to say dung? Because it might get...
I mean, you can say whatever you want to say. I'll probably say dung.
Yeah, it's a little bit more scientific. A little bit more removed.
They're called the dung beetle, not the poop beetle.
Well,
after all,
that's just good PR. They've just clearly got a good PR manager.
Well, there are like 7,000 species of dung beetle.
What? There's 7,000 species of dung beetle? Yeah. I was thinking like there's like 5 species of dung beetle. Bugs, man. They're everywhere.
Yeah. There's a lot, and they belong to 2 families. The Geotroopidae, which are like earth-boring dung beetles. Every beetle in that family is a dung beetle. And then there's Scarabidae, like scarabs. I'm sure you've heard of scarab beetles. They're not all dung beetles. Some of them are dung beetles.
Oh, the rectangle square situation.
Yeah, exactly. Where probably today, when I'm talking about them, most of the generalizations I'll be making are likely for the scarab side of things. So if we can generalize a little bit, because like I said, 7,000 species. we're gonna be a little general. Yeah.
So scarab for me is like the beetle. He's got a little head, and he's got that wide, beautiful, round back. Mm-hmm. Is that the general shape of most of these dudes?
Yeah, clubbed antennae. We can think about them. Don't we have a beetle hero coming out in the
Blue Beetle comes out? Yes, a DC movie. Universe? So it's Batman, not Captain America. If that, I probably should say Superman versus Captain America. They're more analogous. But so Batman, not Spider-Man, which means it's the less established universe.
Yeah.
So maybe that means they'll be able to do more stuff with it. I know that they recently had a complete changeover of who's in charge of the DC universe. So
right. Well, the beetle. I mean, the beetle in Blue Beetle is a scarab.
Yes,
so
it's even called the scarab.
The scarab, yeah. Probably not a dung beetle scarab, though. I would assume.
Probably not, but imagine if it was. Oh my gosh, what an untapped power set for Jaime. All this time they've been doing like flight and beetle strength and beetle jaws, but secretly Jaime all this time could have been
Roland Dung,
been a waste management professional.
Oh, if he was a waste management professional in his daily life, it would be amazing.
So step 1, our hero this week is a beautiful garbage man. All right. Garbage
definitely.
man, not one of the colloquials that has switched over to an ungendered term. Still a garbage man.
Garbage, yeah. Could be garbage person. I've seen a lady.
He's a garbage
garbage woman before, and I was.
I'm not saying you can't be a garbage man who's
I was surprised. You don't see too many women wanting to go into that profession, but she was hanging on the back of the truck.
Yeah, that'd be the one I want to do.
Looking totally free and easy breezy, loving life. And suddenly I was jealous and wished I was a garbage woman.
This is a very son-centric episode so far, but my son went through a phase where like garbage trucks were the coolest thing on the planet.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty common. A lot of 2-year-olds just like fall in love with a big truck.
My niece, my friend's, my very good friend's daughter, who we just call our niece, she was super into garbage trucks when she was little. And when I think for her 3rd birthday, we got her this really fancy German wooden garbage truck.
Wow.
Where everything worked, and
Montessori garbage truck.
She like ignored everything else she got and was so pumped about this garbage truck.
That's
While
awesome.
she was dressed as a ninja and a princess at the same time. She's fantastic.
A natural combination.
Yes,
the ninja princess.
She's fantastic. I love her.
I just remember when my son was little, we'd hear the beep beep of it like down the street, and we'd be like in bed, and he would just sit bolt upright and go, "Garbage truck!" And, we knew we had like about a minute to get to the front door to just book it down the stairs, and go to the front door and see the garbage truck that week. Because if we missed it on Friday, he was like upset about it. Like upset. Luckily, they were recycling. The recycling came the same day, so if you missed the 9:00 garbage truck, you could usually catch the 10:00 recycling truck.
Oh, okay.
And our neighbor is like the mechanic who works on the big trucks, so we've gotten a lot of waste management goodies over the years, because if he sees things, and our garbage truck dudes also give out these little foam trucks as like
what are they?
PR thing?
Squeezy toys?
Yeah, they're kind of they're like stress balls.
Stress relievers? Yeah, okay.
Just
that's really cute.
And they like give them to kids they see, because they must see kids on their route every week of like, hi. Oh, like Ted
all
got
kids
one of the,
love garbage trucks.
I mean, all kids love garbage trucks. My son got one of those big garbage trucks that like he hit the button, it goes boop boop, that stuff. And he wanted to like show it to the garbage people, be like, look,
did they love it though?
Too. Oh yeah, they like waved and hey. It seems like a stinky job, but
I've never seen an angry looking garbage person ever. They always look like they're having a great time.
I've heard it pays well because people don't want to do it, and so they really have to like entice you with capitalist gains. So maybe it's all right if you don't mind being a little stinky. So step 1, our hero is definitely a waste management professional.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay, let me write this down real fast. Waste management.
The true heroes, I think.
Yes.
Because without waste management professionals, we would need lots of dung beetles to kind of fix the situation. People don't realize
control.
Yeah, people don't realize how important it is to have waste management folks until something's broken. Yeah,
I mean, striking is in the air right now. Now's your time.
Yeah.
Waste management people. I've heard that they've gone on strike in like New York before, and it like changed the landscape of New York for as long as the strike went on.
In Europe too.
I just can't imagine how much garbage.
Oh, like New York is full of garbage.
Yeah,
like
it's already full of garbage, and then you go on strike, and it's like, oh, this is like the town from WALL-E now,
So our guy will be a waste management professional. He'll be
by day. We'll see how he shakes out by night.
I think he would have a sort of Wolverine-like body. That squatty.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna draw him with a Wolverine body. So let's give him strong arms because he's been lifting bags of garbage. And then how big is he? Is he a big guy, a little guy?
So their size varies a lot. Beetles of genus Aphodius are maybe like the smallest is only 1/8 of an inch, so a little fella. In North America, I think our biggest one is called the Carolina corpus, and they're about 1 1/4 inch. So they vary in size quite a bit, and I think this is the dung beetles most people are thinking about are the ones in Africa.
Exactly.
You see them on the nature documentary with elephant
around,
dung.
Like, give me that gold. Give me that gold.
They can be over 2 inches in length.
For the elephant ones?
Yeah.
That's a big beetle.
It's a big beetle. Oh yeah,
especially when you consider they're kind of round too. So like
they're quite round. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big dude. And I know that they're in, of all places, in I think Ireland, because there's this Irish show on Netflix called Puffin Rock, which is
Ooh,
about puffins, obviously, and they live on an island.
I love a puffin.
Yes, and they have an episode where the little puffin helps the dung beetle get their dung
Aw.
beetle ball back to their home. So the nature documentary is about elephant feces, and the the kids cartoon Puffin Rock is where I'm drawing my dung beetle knowledge from.
Your inspiration from?
Yes.
They're found on every continent but Antarctica. They're everywhere. Which I was I don't know why I was a little surprised when I was reading about this, but
Well,
I think
I
because I
mean,
just mostly thought about African dung beetles before
dung
going into the
is
show.
where you find it, Kelly.
Yeah,
So.
yes.
So
Well,
it's
for
like, it's not
beetles,
like
dung is where the home is.
home is where your little ball of feces is. So I mean, that makes sense. Like if they're filling, that there's kind of this niche in a lot of ecosystems of the like recycler. Like,
Right.
oh, I'm the scavenger of carcasses. I'm the breaker down of logs, and this guy is the breaker down of waste product from all the other activities that animals get up to.
Yeah. Yes, someone's got to get rid of dung. This is why they're important for agriculture, right? So you need something to get rid of all those cow pats when you're a rancher, because they bring flies. Flies bring disease. They also bring nematodes. Nematodes are disease vectors too. So these guys make cow pastures a much safer place for the cows.
So
They're important for agriculture, not just elephants.
So are farmers like we not just elephants? Well, elephants, they could be farmers, So are farmers purposely cultivating dung beetles in their farms the way that they purposely cultivate like ladybugs in their gardens? Or
yeah.
We talked about last week the cinnabar moth to get rid of the tansy so their cows don't get sick.
So some of them are even imported because they're dung beetles from other parts of the world. They're a lot more efficient than your natives.
We're finding that to be the case often. We're like stealing bugs from other places and be like, our modern, our native honeybees are okay, but we're gonna need that European honeybee, please. Yoink! So that's funny.
What I thought was really interesting, so in Australia specifically,
Australia, don't you be important anymore, animals, Australia.
There's a lot of ranching that goes on in Australia, and they do have native dung beetles. I think they have 500 native species of dung beetle in Australia, but they're used to dealing with marsupial dung, and marsupial dung is really dry, completely different texture than
I've heard
cow.
That wombat is a marsupial, or am I cuckoo cadoodles?
Wombats are marsupials.
Okay, because they have the cube shaped,
the cubed dung, right,
which is so funny to me.
But they don't they don't produce really the right. They don't produce the right kind of dung for
rolling around.
Yeah, for rolling around. No, so
they
do. They do for their native species, but the native dung beetles can't roll a cowpat because a cowpat's too wet. So Australia had to import 29 additional species that can handle wet cow patties.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. So they needed to like specialize. Oh, I'm the dry poo specialist, and I'm the wet poo specialist.
You specialize with the things that you've evolved next to.
Yeah. So that's funny. And I guess they're not going to compete with the natives because it's totally different.
Yeah, because they don't want that dry dung. They want ranching from cows. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, right?
That's interesting to think about how ranching and farming, we think about it changing the landscape of the earth a lot. But I hadn't really thought much about how it changes the bug ecosystems. But it must absolutely change every single bug ecosystem that they introduce this sort of things to.
Oh yeah. I mean, think about the flies involved. and
Yeah.
cow dung. And,
A lot.
like I said, nematodes before.
Mhm.
So the nice thing about the dung beetle is they take this dung, which could attract pests, and they bury it. And when they bury it, they actually change the soil, the nutrients in the soil, making it better. It's kind of
Because they're
amazing.
like reintroducing, I hear nitrates is the
Yep,
buzzword I
nitrate.
hear a lot when it comes to fertilizer of all, manure of all kinds. You're looking for high nitrate. So they're just kind of doing that. I'm not waiting for you to come over with a bag of this stuff. I'm digging the hole and I'm putting the nitrates right back in that soil.
Doing it myself, yeah.
Oh my
Isn't
gosh.
it incredible?
So what do they do
I don't
with
know if I'd
the,
call them ecosystem engineers like a beaver, but maybe a little bit.
they're certainly helping. They're certainly
Certainly
gardening.
helping.
Ecosystem gardeners.
Yes.
uh
what do they do with it?
yeah, what do they do with it? Because are they eating it? Are they eating the parts of it that aren't digested? Are they using it as just a place to like lay eggs? I'm not entirely sure what they I know that they have the dung. What do they
So
do with the
it's
dung?
all about childcare, Amanda.
They're putting those babies in the poop.
They are. So there are three types of dung beetle, and the way that they engineer a nest. The male and female partner up, and then they work together to make this nest arrangement, this nest environment for their eggies, which is very cute.
Yeah.
I love a bug partnership.
I love when they team up. I love when any animal has a partner.
It's like a
That's just
spouse.
I love. Even though I know that like they're not, love might be a high concept for an animal to have, but I just love.
For an insect. Yeah.
For an insect to partner up is pretty cute.
I think maybe other mammals might have the concept, but that's like a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show. Do swans feel love?
I don't know.
Which
Maybe.
there's this one line in, okay, so back to my wolf girl roots, as you know.
Oh.
So one of my favorite books as a kid, as like a middle schooler on up, was the sequel to Julie of the Wolves. So Julie of the Wolves Dark. She's a First Nations Inuit girl who like has to leave a bad situation at home, and she goes and lives in the wilderness to escape and befriends this wolf pack, and they don't take care of her, but they like accept her as part of the landscape and don't, and she like observes them, and by the end of the movie she decides she's gonna like help save the wolves, blah blah blah. That's the first book. The second book is written the way that I would write a book about wolves, which is that like now she's like full friends with the wolves, and the wolves have like thoughts and feelings. And they have like dramatic situations between the wolves, and like this was written in the time when like alpha wolf was still like the prevalent sort of accepted genre of wolf. Which, to be clear, if you like wolves, alpha wolf is not a thing.
No,
it's not a thing.
It's just not a thing.
Mom and dad and their kids from either last year or this year, and like that's kind of it. That's what wolf.
The scientist who coined the alpha wolf thing is so upset. He's so upset
because he like took it back like not even
instantly.
Like 8 months later. He was like, "This is straight up wrong. I was wrong."
He hates that it's become this terrible.
Oh yeah, and like
sort of
bad people have co-opted it as badness. Yeah, for sure. Like there are societies, and even societies close to human societies, where there is like an alpha, quote unquote, but wolves are just not one of them.
But we should do a whole episode on words like that around animals that are just not
wrong,
true.
Straight up. That is incorrect. Don't do that. Like say that you're a gorilla with a harem, then maybe we can talk about scientific accuracy.
You're a male turkey.
You are a cuttlefish and you don't know it, but you're getting snuck up on right now. Anyway, back to my point though, is that wolves have one of my favorite books as a kid was these wolves that have interpersonal connections. And there's one point where the alpha wolf got taken by the scientists, and so all the wolves are freaking out because they don't know what happened to their alpha wolf, and now they're without a leader and everything's bad. But then the alpha wolf comes back, and his mate comes and finds him, and they like touch noses on this hill in the moonlight. And Julie and her then fiance are like observing them, and the fiance's like, "Don't let anyone tell you that the wolves do not feel love."
Is the fiance a wolf or a person?
He was a person, but
Okay.
low-key might have been a wolf, like Twilight style. Which, is like its own kettle of fish about like introducing native persons who transforms into wolves. Dicey. So
yeah. But they much like your wolves and Julie and the Wolves,
yes,
the dung beetles partner they partner up. I don't know if they're in love.
I'm going to assume they are in love.
We can pretend they're in love. It'll make everyone happier, I
Listen,
think.
when you're in love, you go through a lot of poo together.
Yeah,
and who better
that
to
does sound
represent
true.
that than the dung beetle?
The dung beetle. So they spend like 95% of their lives in dung. It's
juicy.
It's a lot. It's sometimes it's juicy.
That's hot.
And there are 3 types of dung beetles. They're either dwellers, tunnelers, or rollers. I love this. I love little categorizations like this.
Yeah,
it's
it sounds
cute.
like you're about to describe like a roller derby of beetles. Like, are you a roller? Who
So,
are you?
Well, we'll start with dwellers. So dwellers lay their eggs right in that patty, right in the dung.
Do they bury it first, or just
they like kind of burrow into it a little bit and then deposit an egg? This is an okay strategy. It kind of leaves the egg susceptible to predators.
Yeah.
Like fly larvae moving around in there,
right.
or other things that might want to munch. But your offspring is surrounded by food. As soon as that egg hatches, boom, it's like Food City until they're ready to pupate and become adults. And these guys do full metamorphosis: egg, larva, pupa, adult, as beetles do. And then there are tunnelers. Tunnelers are cool. They have like special digging arms on the front. Their front limbs are like made to dig, so they're like flat and spread out a little bit. They will dig a tunnel under the cow pad or the elephant pad or whatever we're looking at here, the marsupial pad, if you will, and and they'll lay their eggs in the tunnel. The tunnel can be branching or it can be a single tunnel. And then once that hatches, the larvae moves up the tunnel into the pat and feeds itself that way. This is pretty protected. Not a bad strategy, I think. If I'm going to rate dung beetle life history strategies, tunneler's okay. And then there's rollers. Rollers are kind of funny to me. So rollers will take the dung, roll the egg up into it, and then they will run away from the dung pats to go stash it. So you'll see them like moving the dung around, and there used to be in like the nature documentaries when they're rolling.
Yeah,
there's probably
an egg in there.
There's a little eggy in there. Yeah,
they burritoed their little egg, and they're like, okay, so we're going. Get in the car.
Well, they got to get it away from that pat because, like I said, that pat's going to attract predators, and you don't really want your new little larva to be born in that. Sometimes
it's funny to put the egg in first and then roll it instead of rolling it and then put the egg in. But I guess that's what the first guy does.
They grab some of that pat and they roll it away, and then they wrap an egg up into it. But then they might keep rolling to get it at a safe distance. So what's funny is the early 19th century, scientists were watching them do this, and occasionally other beetles would come over, and they thought, "Oh, look at them! They're helping each other. They're helping each other roll."
Oh no!
But they were just trying to steal each other's dung.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought I was going. Hey, that's a nice dung ball you got there. Shame if somebody took it
from you. Oh, that's a nice round ball. That looks like the perfect size. That's mine now.
Rude.
It's like that. It's like that. You made this. I made this. Internet.
Yeah, meme. Yeah. I made it. I made it. This. It's mine now.
So they steal dung balls from each other. It's usually one egg per ball.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
The female will lay 10 to 80 eggs in her lifetime.
That's a lot of dung balls.
Depends on the species and everything. And the balls are usually pretty large in comparison to the beetle. I think everyone's probably seen photos or a nature documentary, again, especially with the elephant dung beetles.
They
You
get them
can see they're pretty big.
so round too. Yeah. It's amazing how round they are, considering that like a lot of dung doesn't start off very round. They really have compressed this thing into a. I've Googled it now, so I'm looking now.
Are you looking at them? Yeah,
I'm looking at them.
They're hard workers.
They are hard workers, and it's so interesting. Like the back feet as the strategy is interesting to me as well. That they wouldn't push it forward, which seems like the natural locomotion to make, right? Katamari style, kind of.
Yeah, Katamari style.
But no, they kick it backwards with their. How do they see where they're going?
Well, what's kind of cool. This is my favorite part of reading about dung beetles was they want to go in a straight line, and they orient themselves at night because they move around during the evening with the Milky Way. They navigate by the stars.
What are you even saying to me right now? They are like wayfinders?
Yes, little poopy wayfinders.
That's amazing. So you're just out there at night with their lady love, taking care of their egg baby inside of this pile of a perfectly spherical poo. And they're like, where are we going? Let me check the stars.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, who knew how romantic this dung beetle was? Not me.
Very I didn't even think about it as romantic until you just said
under
that.
The stars with your lady love.
It's very romantic. Isn't that incredible?
That's amazing. How do they even see that far? I guess I just think of bugs as being like, so they got all those little eyes so they can see.
Well, remember the little ocelli on the top of the head?
The primitive eye.
So I love this. They figured this out. Some scientists in South Africa took some dung beetles to the planetarium in Johannesburg.
Of course.
Took them out for date night at the planetarium.
Date night at the planetarium.
Which I would love. Note to my husband. He doesn't listen to the pod. But
well, today might be the day.
Well, they took them to the planetarium, and they made it as dark as possible so that they could make sure the beetles were not navigating via the horizon. So it's totally dark. They can't look for that horizontal plane. And then they started changing the way the sky looked. They made the stars brighter or dim, and they do navigate just fine with only stars. But then they discovered if you turn off most of the stars and you leave the Milky Way, they still navigate just fine. Incredible. And they orient themselves pointed at the Milky Way as well. So this is how they can go in a straight line, even though they're pushing it from the back.
That's amazing. Just think that this is going to get too philosophical, but like space, which is so wondrously huge, unfathomable. It's in fact why I don't like space, because it makes me feel too small. But that like burning nitrogen possibly billions of miles away is affecting this one little bug on the planet Earth. That's pretty cosmic.
Yeah.
That's pretty cosmic.
It is, isn't it? I loved...
We're all connected.
I love this.
Great circle of life.
But this little poo beetle is so inspirational to think about. So philosophical.
I'm gonna have to get like a dung beetle inspirational poster here for my podcast dungeon. I'm gonna put it there and I'll be like, I can do anything. I am just one little dung beetle navigating by the stars. Yeah. If the stars are important enough for this dung beetle, gosh darn it, they're important enough for me.
Incredible, right? Oh, I loved it. And they're the only insect we know of that orients themselves to the Milky Way. And I think they're the only other animal that uses the Milky Way for navigation.
It seems sophisticated to do so.
Yeah.
You know.
There are other species that use stars to navigate, so seals will use stars to navigate. Birds can use the stars to navigate. Obviously humans. But this like very particular orientation to the Milky Way is really just us and this one species of dung beetle in South Africa. I don't know if they all do it. They just study
Right.
this one kind. Yeah, producer Derek is calling them cosmic bugs. And he's right.
Yeah, very
Definitely.
cosmic. Now my mind goes to, is light pollution a problem for beetles the same way that light pollution can be a problem for birds?
Light pollution is a problem for everything.
For everything.
Just
And
everything.
bats too.
Bats, birds, baby sea turtles.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, Bears Beats, Battlestar Galactica. So,
sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, I love it. I'm sure other beetles, other insects probably also navigate by starlight, maybe even the Milky Way. It just hasn't been tested yet, but incredible. Absolutely blew my mind. I was so pumped reading about that. And I think I had remembered seeing that on an Attenborough documentary too.
It sounds like an Attenborough thing to say, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
And here the tiny dung beetle in its romance with the stars. And then it's like, and they show like, they always do that like time lapse of like, the stars going around and around and around.
Oh yeah, and shot. It's just this little dung beetle,
and
spinning.
He's pushing that ball as fast as he can. And then they do like a fade out, and the dung beetle is pushing the world now instead of a dung ball.
Amanda, you got to start doing documentaries.
Oh man, I'm ready. That feels like I say that now, but now I feel like that's a real mythos. Like I'm not pulling that out of nowhere, that the dung beetle is pushing the earth. Did you come across anything about that in your? Now I gotta Google, bro.
No,
I think you're thinking of the Egyptians.
The Egyptians use the scarab beetle, and they particularly
push the sun across the sky.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of.
Well, they also saw the ancient Egyptians saw the sacred dung beetle as like I think transformation, a sign of transformation and change. And
so you say Egypt and scarab, and you know right where my mind's gonna go. The 1998 cult classic, The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser.
I love Brendan Fraser. I love you, Brendan Fraser.
That movie.
Welcome back, Brendan Fraser. By the way.
Welcome back. By the way,
friend of the pod, Brendan Fraser.
Oh my gosh! Imagine.
I wish.
Between Pedro Pascal and friend of the podcast, Brendan Fraser. What a handsome podcast we'd have all of a sudden. But that movie.
We have producer Derek. The podcast is already handsome. It's quite handsome.
Well, I can't think that because
he's your brother.
My brother. It'd be weird. It'd be like, dicey. But The Mummy might be second only to Jurassic Park. Might be the closest Jurassic Park is to the perfect movie.
We just had the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park.
I love Jurassic. I
felt so old.
Yeah. First of all, so old. So our local science museum does like a watch along for Jurassic Park every now and then, and they give you snacks that correlate with what's going on the screen.
Oh, that's fun.
If you're in the Portland area, would recommend. But there is one part where they feed you a cigarette butt, which is not great. But oh well.
What?
They give you like this really bitter, like olive leaf wrapped around some filling, and it tastes like cigar because you're seeing the part where Samuel L. Jackson was like, "Hold on to your butts."
To your butts.
Yeah. And you take a bite of this little olive leaf thing, and you're like, "Oh, this is horrible. Why'd you make me eat this?" Because up till then, all the snacks have been delicious. I
use that line all the time.
Hold on to your butts every single time I take I said it yesterday to my children because we were driving to grandma's house and there was a bumpy part in the road and I was like, hold on to your butts. But yeah, only Jurassic Park and The Mummy, perfect movies. There's a shortage of perfect movies in this world. It would be a shame to sully that one. Princess Bride, also a great movie. My only real critique of Princess Bride is that Buttercup spends too much of it as a beautiful lamp. So,
yeah, yes, she was a stunningly gorgeous lamp in that movie.
Such a beautiful, beautiful lamp that does nothing. My only critique, which is why if you're so we're in the age, I've gone off track now, but I'm going to go down it anyway. If we're
Here we
living
go.
in an
Hold on
age
to your
where
butts.
hold on to your butts, Amanda's got opinions. If we're going to go down this road of let's make unnecessary sequels to movies 20 years later, and we're going to pull out the nostalgia, just yank it out of you, I would be okay with a Princess Bride sequel as long as they got the original cast back.
Oh.
And I want the plot to be that Wesley's old pirate foe has come and taken Wesley. So now we've reversed it where Buttercup has to go save Wesley. And she has to go and get Indigo back. And she's all like, come on, we're going. And like she gets to be the cool one for the whole movie. And Wesley spends the whole movie as a beautiful lamp. That's what I want. Because Robin White.
Carrie Elwes. I love Carrie Elwes.
I mean, you saw her in the first Wonder Woman. She clearly could do it. She could do it. Yeah. And she's such a BA in House of Cards that
House of Cards, yes.
Do it, girl. I'm just saying that would be if you're gonna do it, do that.
I would be for this. I would be all for this.
It's the only way I'd be for this. Because like, stop it, guys. Stop making unnecessary. Like, let poor Harrison Ford stay home. Let him stay home.
He is an old man. He needs to rest. And he won't say no because he can't let anyone else be. He says he is indie. So
right. He can't let someone else. He can let a computer generated youngified version of himself be Harrison Ford, but he will not let anyone else be Harrison Ford.
So speaking of like superheroes, because I think Indiana Jones is a bit of a superhero.
I agree.
If you want to get into, so you've been drawing our little dung beetle friend as we've been chatting, right?
Should I give him overalls, or should I give him a tight shirt? Let's give him a tight shirt.
Tight shirt.
Yeah, to really show off his strong, muscly arms.
So I think I could start telling you about their superpowers, Amanda.
Yeah.
If you would like a superpower list.
I've kind of drawn his civilian form.
Okay.
For his, but yeah, lay some powers on me that I'll try to sneak in.
Should you do a civilian form and a hero form, like the Blue Beetle?
Yes. All right, let me scoot him over.
Do you think you could do that?
Because his civilian form's basically just him in a t-shirt and jeans. So let's copy his pose. And we'll
civilian form, you should give him the Trash Man coveralls.
Yeah.
I
gave him a space shirt, so I kind of don't want to cover up the space shirt. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me make my canvas size bigger.
Our hero needs super strength. That's one thing. So the horned dung beetle can pull up to over 1,100 times its own body weight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Strong, ladies and gents. And if you want to think about that as a human equivalent, that's like an average human male lifting 2 fully loaded 18-wheeler trucks.
They talk about ants all the time, like, oh, an ant could lift up, a car over its head. But meanwhile, the dung beetle's out here like, psh, that's for kids. That the children are lifting up the cars. We're on 18-wheelers in each hand.
2 fully loaded 18-wheelers for a human male to average sized human male. Isn't that wild? What a strong little bug. Mega strong. But I guess if you're rolling big old dung balls all day, you gotta be strong.
You gotta be strong. I can show you how to be strong.
They would also have flight, so dung beetles can make short flights. But do you remember? And I hope the listeners Googled this when we were talking about the Big Boy episode.
Yeah.
With did I show you the video for a stag beetle in flight and how ridiculous it looked?
Oh yeah. Yes. Where like his head's up, but the rest of his body's like dragging way behind down. Him. Yeah.
His little legs are flailing around.
Practically vertical as he's flying through the air. Yeah. Poor little guy.
Big beetles are not very good at flying. So they could fly, it's just not great. And then, obviously celestial navigation, which is fantastic. I love it.
I've given him a sack because he was a garbage man.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've added a mask to him, he straight up looked like he's a robber.
It's like a robber. An Old-timey robber.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just put a big dollar sign on it. All right, wow.
Oh, producer Derek's kitty Desi is here. She's rubbing all over the mic.
Is that what
Desi?
the sound is?
Yeah. Do you hear that? That's Desi.
Desi.
And
Desi's very cool.
so for colors, I know that the Blue Beetle is blue, obviously, but most dung beetles are black to brown, but there are a few like fancy versions that come in like metallic green or
Ooh.
or blue. There's the rainbow scarab, which is green. Some males have horns, so if he's a male dung beetle, if you want to give him fighty horns, that's okay too.
Oh, I might give him a fighty horn. Okay, hold on. Let me Google this real fast. Oh wow, this guy's got a big horn. Oh my gosh. This guy's more rhino-y than the rhinoceros beetle. My gosh.
Males gotta fight. Gotta fight each other.
Oh, this one's got like El Toro horns.
Which one? What species is that? What are you looking at?
It's let me look. Click it. It does not tell me. It says what dung beetles are teaching us about the genetics of sexual dimorphism.
Have we discussed sexual dimorphism on the pod before? Do you know what that term means?
I know what it means because I incorrectly tried to use it on the on the Dragons and Damsels episode because I thought they were the same bug. But to my knowledge, sexual dimorphism is literally just how the male of a species and the female of a species look or behave differently.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
Gold star, Amanda.
Yeah. So in humans, sexual dimorphism might be facial hair versus a lack of facial hair.
Right. Yes. Very good.
Thank you.
I love it.
I did go to
love
school.
it. Yeah.
just because I'm a dummy in the world of bugs.
No. If you're not using these terms, you forget. Like you know what the concept is, but maybe you forget what the term is. We love our jargon in science. We're very jargony folk.
You are a very jargony folk.
So how are you drawing our friend here?
So I'm trying to decide how to make him a dung beetle and not a robber. Well, I think he needs a symbol on his chest. He feels like the kind of guy that has just like, but I don't want to put a corpulite on there.
But you could.
I could. Maybe I'll just give him like a starburst.
You could
not
look at the
candy.
You could look at the Blue Beetle's costume and maybe do a little.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent point. Let's get derivative up in here.
Derivative,
okay,
yeah. Oh, I think Derek has shared a Blue Beetle image.
Oh, okay. Let me look over there. Yeah, the Ted Cord one's the best one in my opinion. Like I like Jaime's fine. His makes sense in a post Iron Man world.
So my husband was telling me that the Blue Beetle was originally given to the guy who did the Watchmen.
Yes, Alan Moore.
Alan Moore, yeah. And then he didn't do anything with it. So instead DC did something and he created the Blue Beetle. No, he created Owlman instead of the Blue Beetle and kind of ran with it, which is I had no idea.
So like,
do you know the story of that?
So the thing of Watchmen is that originally so now we know it as Alan Moore created these original characters. These original characters to like fill in these spots as kind of like homages to real heroes, the way that Night Owl's kind of got some Batman flavors to him. Rorschach has some he was originally the Question, which is kind of I'd say C-list hero at this point. But as the story progressed, DC got nervous about the use of their IP characters in this story that was pretty critical.
Dark.
Of a lot of things, because Alan Moore, he can't write anything else. So they eventually told him, you got to switch it out. You can do whatever you want. You just can't use the existing IP heroes. So he just created some new heroes that homage to the ones that they were originally going to be. So
because Alan Moore is also totally fine with killing characters,
yes,
and DC probably did not want to end
No,
And
they
the lines of those heroes.
right. They had just bought some of these characters off of other comic book. They wanted to use them. They didn't want to use them in one story and then so
Right.
long, like because we joke a lot about comic books killing off characters willy nilly, but they always bring them back.
Yeah.
So once Watchmen was becoming a standalone comic, I think they kind of said, you can do what you want, just don't use the IP.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So can you describe which Blue Beetle costume you're looking
I
at?
think I'm gonna steal from the Ted Kord one, just because I like that one. But it's the most
I'm gonna have to Google that.
kind of classic. He's all blue. He's got a dark blue beetle thing that is kind of the shape of a beetle over his shoulders, if that makes sense. And then
Oh,
he's got
okay,
the
yeah,
gloves,
that's cool. And the
Um,
glasses or goggles.
yeah, I should probably give him goggles, because who wants to deal with Papu?
He's gonna
Without
definitely
goggles on.
need goggles too, yeah,
Yeah.
for
And
safety.
then for safety reasons, he needs goggles. He does not want to constantly be dealing with with glaucoma. So all right, well, all right, here we go. Let me see.
Oh, there were some 2022 rumors that Jason Sudeikis would play Ted Kord.
Oh, really?
I don't
Oh,
know.
it looks like this is who is Ted Kord in Blue Beetle.
I don't know where that went. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that
He
never
also
happened.
has the little booty shorts that I always think are so funny. They're so mid-century character design. The little blue shorts. I'm gonna put them on him. I love a little
Oh
short.
yeah, give him the little shorts. Yeah, Derek's calling them strongman shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a reference that the modern eye no longer references, or like no longer immediately says, "Hey, he's a strongman," because we just don't have strongmen anymore. I'm gonna give him a cape, a perfectly round cape, because I love that round little body.
Oh, their bodies are very round, very cute. I think dung beetles are adorable, but I don't know if the listeners were to count up every time I say a little bug is adorable. It's probably all the bugs.
It's all the
Every
bugs.
bug,
I mean, to be fair,
in their own way.
in the Cinnabar episode, the little flea beetle was very cute.
Oh, he was very cute. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I've Googled now scarab iconography. So I'm gonna do something like
you're gonna
that.
get some fun stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna steal this sort of idea of the scarab holding the sun. That seems to be pretty prevalent in Egyptian iconography here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna steal that. All right. Pop back over to Photoshop. Theft of idea is what we're about here in the art world. That's what we care about.
It is the highest form of flattery, right?
Oh, yes.
That's what they say.
Always be stealing.
So we can talk a little bit about dung beetles. So in our field notes on our website, the listeners who have visited the website know I always do a little section called whatever that organism is in culture. Sometimes there's not a whole lot, but the dung beetles there's kind of quite a bit going on. So one couple of these are more agriculturally based. Dung beetles apparently save the U.S. cattle industry $380 million a year by burying all that cow dung. That's a lot of money. A lot of money.
Oh my gosh! So that's just farmers didn't have to remove this because the beetles already had money.
Yeah, the beetles did it themselves, which is great. And like I said, it improves nitrate cycling, it reduces soil compaction, increases aeration, and helps prevent runoff because the beetles are kind of cultivating plant life by burying the dung. Maybe they are little ecosystem engineers, and I wasn't giving them enough credit at the top of the show. They're great little dudes. They are proclaimed to be a cure for several diseases in Chinese traditional medicine.
Of course, yes.
Seems like there's
to be.
a lot of that. Please don't do anything unless you consult the doctor first.
Please don't just
safe.
rub some dung beetle.
Yeah,
Poo-poo
be
on
safe. And then, so the Egyptians, like we said, the ancient Egyptians have a lot of scarab iconography in their culture, and then their folklore. They usually use the sacred scarab, which is Scarabaeus sacer, or saker. And they kind of mean, in their hieroglyphics, they use scarabs all the time, and it translates to come into being, to become, to transform. I love a metamorphosis. That's pretty neat. And then we've seen them in, like, Hans Christian Andersen has a fable called the Dung Beetle. Aristophanes, the Greek playwright, has a play called Peace, and the hero's steed is a giant dung beetle. I kind of love the imagery of that. Could you imagine you're waiting to get saved and the guy coming to save you is riding a big old dung beetle?
Honestly, that'd be awesome. I would allow it. Actually, I think I don't like that. I would take that away.
Also, on the website, guys and gals and non-binary pals, if you want to go there, you can check out, I always do book recommendations, and on this one I've added a separate section that's kids books. So if you want to go to the website and get some recommendations for your kiddos, I've got a few on there about dung beetles. One called Behold the Beautiful Dung Beetle, which I love the title. Bonkers About Beetles, and maybe this one's for your little guy, Amanda. It's called It's called I Eat Poop.
Oh,
a dung beetle story.
We do have a copy of Everybody Poops, which is always a big hit. So,
but yeah, so I'll eventually update the website for past episodes, but every episode will now have children's book recommendations, because I get asked that a lot.
Is it inappropriate for me to give him a superpower ball that he kicks at people?
I think it's great. I think it's
great.
absolutely fantastic.
So I realized I added that, and then I was like, I did not ask Kelly if this was okay.
Make sure it's brown, and then you're fine.
Of course. I assume all his powers are going to be brown.
Brown. Oh no, producer Derek is asking, is there a baby inside the ball?
Oh no!
Like a little baby sidekick.
Hello.
Reminds me of the fly drawing you did for the last episode for Cinnabon.
Where he's just like buzzing around on his backpack with his loose limbs.
And his little cow toy.
Yeah, very good. I'm actually very pleased with how the Cinnabar ended up in the end, because red and black is just so good. You can't get away from how good that is.
Very pretty.
But unfortunately, I have been fighting the urge all week to draw Cinnabar and Isabella together. So
really, you should just do it. And
I just haven't had time, because I was finishing like actual client work, and now I gotta catch up on podcast work. All right, I think. Okay, let me toss this over to you and see what we need to add.
Yeah, let me take a peek.
Dung Beetle save.
I kind of love the idea of our plainclothes hero, and then next to them, what they look like in their superhero outfit.
I feel like you're going to know who he is. This is a pretty severe case of, is that John dressed as a superhero? So.
Like Clark Kent, who just takes his glasses off.
Speaking of Clark Kent, there is a new My Adventures with Superman out now.
Is it good?
Very good. I've enjoyed it a great deal. It's only 4 episodes in, but the latest episode went hard on some sneaky Marvel like slap shots.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they did not hold back on that. Okay. Okay, I'm putting it in the art tab.
All right, let's see what we got here.
He's got a little bit of lumberjack energy, for which I can only apologize.
Oh yeah, he's great. He needs so his work pants, will he be that green color for work pants?
Like the waiter's color, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Derek is saying to give him a wrecking ball.
Oh, over his shoulder there? That's a
cool idea. Yeah.
All right, hold on, let me. I came in like a wrecking ball. that'll
I
have to
love the
rechain.
scarab on his chest. Very cool. And his mustache.
Yeah, I tried to do his because he had such cute little antennae that were like had these little ruffles on the end, and I was like, that has to be a mustache.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is great, Amanda. This is gonna look awesome when it's all colored in and
Not to always be adding to the Bugverse, but I feel like he would be friends with Bumble.
oh, I think so. Yeah,
They go to the same gym, I think.
they go to the same gym.
The same himbos only gym.
And then Bumble goes over to Dung Beetle's house when his
Yeah.
wife like cooks dinner and they do game night together.
Oh yeah,
That's
for
That's
sure.
what happens.
For sure.
But because Dung
yeah.
Beetle is a good partner, he helps cook dinner, so they do it together.
Of course, he cleans up after.
He does. He does the dishes.
He does the dishes. She cooks. He does the dishes. You know, classic domestic setup.
We've really built a universe for our.
We really have. Like, kind of not on purpose, but here we are. There's some that just fit together so nicely. You want them to hang out.
Yeah. One day we'll make a comic. One day.
Yeah.
With Isabella and Woolly Bear as the star.
Yeah, definitely.
The star of the comic book.
Just Woolly Bear as the star.
Yeah. It's making wop wop noises.
I just like the idea of like this whole like all these adults, and he's like, and they're like, I mean, I understand you're feeling that way, buddy, but we have to use kind language, you know.
Yes. But you have to eat dinner before you have ice cream. You need to eat your veggies.
You've only eaten 3 plates. You have to eat 4.
You're a growing boy.
You're a growing boy. How are you going to pupate having only eaten 3 plates?
Can't build a chrysalis.
It takes a lot of energy. Okay, so I've added a wrecking ball. Is there anything else he needs here?
I think the wrecking ball is fantastic. I love the iconography on his chest. He's gonna look great. He's perfect.
Let's see if Derek says anything.
Derek is recommending horn-rimmed glasses.
On his civilian form?
On his civilian form, yeah.
All right, let me see what I can...
That would be cute.
Oh, I see. Kind of a Clark
Maybe
Kent reference with the glasses. I see.
Yeah. I see. Do we have a hero with glasses yet?
No, I don't think we've had a hero with glasses. Because I usually just draw their hero form. So we don't usually have opportunity to see them with glasses on. Because, you know, you don't wear your glasses as you fight crime. It's a pretty typical, you know, genre trope that like, I wore glasses and then I got superpowers. Now I don't need those glasses anymore.
It is.
Because that's what happens to Pete. Although really, he should have multiple eyes if he's going to improve his eyesight.
That would look very creepy, though.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Maybe Miguel is the one who should have multiple eyes, considering he's quote unquote 50% spider. End quotes. Have you seen Spider-Verse 2 yet?
I haven't. I'm a bad
entomologist.
Entomologist, yeah.
But you've just
I'm a bad fan. Lately. That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Very busy.
Yeah. Look how cute he is now that he has glasses on. I'm sorry. What a cutie. He's suddenly become my type. So, you know.
Does Cody wear glasses?
Cody, in fact, does wear glasses. A dark-haired glasses boys. That's what I like.
Everyone's got a type.
Mine is Clark Kent, unfortunately. So.
Derek is saying the new Spider-Boy has multiple eyes on his costume. I'll have to.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he just shared a image, and he kind of has the scarab on the back thing going on too. It's not Clark Kent is not a loser. How dare you?
Producer Derek is just roasting poor Amanda
in the chat,
in the Discord chat.
We started this day talking about brother behavior, and we have witnessed it in real time.
If we have any fans, unleash your fury on Producer Derek for roasting Amanda.
We're gonna get text. Derek, you be nice to your sister.
Yeah, your mom is gonna.
My mom's
gonna be mad about this episode.
Yeah, well. What you gotta do?
I love that your mom is a fan of the cast. That's really nice. That's very nice.
All right, I've added glasses to his civilian form, and I've given him a wrecking ball in his.
Oh, he's very cute. He's so cute.
He's like,
Yeah, he's great.
yeah. That mustache. There's no way he's not going to get recognized. Someone's going to be like, "Excuse you,
Wait a minute.
I just saw you a minute ago." And because we talked
Dan?
about New York, is that you? What? No, I gotta go. And then he just flies very, very slowly away because he can't fly very well. I can
His
still
legs
see
just
you.
hanging around.
And because we mentioned New York earlier in the episode, I'm picturing him as a New York garbage man.
I was picturing New York garbage man as well.
We talked a lot about
like it.
about Marvel too, which is always in New York.
In New York.
Don't live in New York if you live in the Marvel universe. It's just a mistake.
So Amanda, how many legs would you give our friend Dung
My
Beetle?
gosh, I always like to award a lot of legs for surprises.
Yeah.
I was surprised this episode that we didn't give our friend Dung Beetle a lovely lady bride, but I know that she's at home waiting, so ready for him to come home.
She's an elementary school teacher.
Yes, perfect. Well, yeah,
in a tough borough.
People. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She helps underprivileged kids for sure. Yeah. She's like handing out violins or whatever. There are always music teachers in those like inspirational movies. Yeah. So I was very surprised to find out that he has a lady love under the stars. How romantic! He treats his lady right. Plus he's making a beautiful home for his children. He's in great shape because he's always out there moving. He's essential, getting rid of something that we do not want to build up in any quick manner. He's all over. Dare I say, 6 out of 6 legs.
Oh, we've got the perfect buck.
He's a perfect. Look into his eyes in his civilian form and tell me he's not a perfect boy. I'm realizing now he has the body type my husband did when we first met.
Oh, we're learning a lot about Amanda this episode. Some psychology happening right now.
Yeah, I'm going through a lot right now looking at this.
He's that's great though.
I might have give me one moment. I'm going to try and find the picture of Cody that was his profile picture when we met on geek2geek.com.
I love that you met on geek2geek.com.
Of course.
It's so cute. I think I would also give Dung Beetle 6 out of 6 legs. He is perfect.
He's a perfect boy.
Perfect bug. The navigating by the Milky Way really put it over the edge for me.
That's really so amazing to me. Like first of all, it's cute as heck, but like unironically, it's very, very cool.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Cody's photos. Let me scroll on down. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to share this into the live recording chat. This is the very first picture I saw of Cody, and my immediate reaction out loud was to say, "Oh, he cute." Yeah, there's Cody on the end there, so that tells you what you need to know. He
does have Dung Beetle civilian. Yeah, I think you've recreated your husband and
oh no. Well, at least I said a lot about how cute I thought he was. I don't think it's on his Facebook. There was one when he was
I love this picture of him with the vest. He's very cute.
Oh, here we go. Here's him dressed as Bane for Halloween. Okay, this is all you need to know. I'm sending you this picture of him as Bane.
That's great. He looks like Bane. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh no, we've absolutely dived into my psyche here.
Oh yeah, we've learned a lot about Amanda's type this episode, and it is Dung Beetle.
It is a dung boy, a poo boy.
Which works because your son is your son is obsessed.
He'll be so excited to find out that his dad has been a poo boy all along.
What an episode we've had.
We've gone on a real journey here. I let Adelaide poop outside, and by Adelaide poop outside, I mean that I left a dirty diaper outside to see if anything happened. But
Now then, producer Derek is
that's
just advocating for Amanda's son to poop outside. Hard advocation.
he really wants to track
Freedom.
down a poo beetle.
He wants a dung beetle. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't want my yard. If it had been another week, a different week, maybe I would have let him. But this week, there was no way any dung beetle was going to be interested in what he was producing because he was a soft serve faucet this week. So
Yeah, that's the wrong.
it's
That's
the
kind
wrong
of the wrong
texture.
thing. Yeah.
So maybe this week I'll bind him up with some applesauce and we'll see what happens.
Your dedication to the pod is noted and thanked.
My level of commitment should never be questioned.
We
All right.
try to always use photos that we have taken ourselves
Yeah,
for the
that's true.
website.
Because we don't want to
Well,
have problems.
we're gonna have to
Copyright
blur
problems.
out a pile of poo if you try to get inappropriate. So we'll see how much of this episode makes it to air. I'm sure we're going to be getting a text from our niece that's like, you guys talked about a lot of poo this week. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
She's
just how it goes. It's a poo episode.
So Kelly, is it mostly herbivore poo that these dung beetles go for? Are we just
It's
pooping in
most-
our yards for no reason? I guess it's cat poo in my yard.
It is mostly herbivore, but I know.
So do I need to feed my son a ton of salad before I try to?
Yeah,
feed him
yeah,
or
to
snack?
make it a little more fiber rich. What's
I
kind
say
of
this
what's kind of neat is they sometimes will attach themselves to a cow and just ride that cow around until the cow poops, and then they like do their
They're like,
thing.
all right, this
Yeah.
is my stop. Ding ding. Hop.
Which is much easier than looking for it. I forgot. I totally forgot about it. Sorry, Derek. Until right this minute.
Oh my gosh.
You can
Yeah,
squeeze it in somewhere.
Why isn't he riding a cow in our picture of him? Oh my gosh. He needs a cow companion.
Because you can't ride a cow. Humans can't ride cows. They're not built
Oh.
for it.
Disagree. I disagree. Maybe he needs a buffalo friend because you can ride a buffalo.
Well, you can.
I'm about to send you a YouTube video that's going to change your life.
Well, there's a species of dung beetle that was associated with buffalo, and then as the buffalo kind of died out because of humans, the dung beetle also sort of decreased in population. But then I think it just switched over to cows after a while, so they're adaptable.
Specifically, white Americans killing the buffalo.
Yeah, yes, white Americans.
Okay, please
Well,
listen to this
white
song.
white Europeans, because I don't know if they were quite
Yeah.
Americans yet, but yeah.
Yeah, they're Americans at that point because that's mid 18th century, so they're
So that
they're a
was,
generation
yeah,
down.
so
Yeah,
they are
because you can get into a psychological debate about when Americans became Americans. Because
I guess so.
because part of why Americans want to split off is because the part of the argument is that they're now Americans, no longer British. They're like a
Oh
different
yeah, that makes
culture now.
sense. Yeah.
At least that's part of their justification for why they did it. Specifically, I think Ben Franklin's justification.
Look at that
Ben
guy
Franklin
riding
had
a
a lot of-
buffalo.
Listen to this song, though. The song.
Oh boy. Okay. Let me open YouTube. Oh man. I've never seen that before, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little weird to see a man on a buffalo
So this is like a whole series.
chasing a bear around.
So I think this is one of those shows where they just kind of pointed a camera at a guy and told him, like, here's what the plot we need to happen. Can you try to make that happen? And like, he does his best. But there's one episode where he fights a cougar. And like, there's some points where he's fighting that cougar where it's going badly for him.
Wow.
You know, like it's
I would not fight a cougar. That's
quote unquote tame cougar that they've like, you know, injected into this situation with this actor. But like, it's still a cougar. Dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be real hard to pry that cougar off of him if.
Yeah, it's like clearly like a young cougar, but like, I believe that's episode 2 is where he gets attacked by the cougar. But that song just lives rent free in my head at all times.
Song's great. Oh yeah.
Guy on a buffalo. Okay, I am gonna have to add a buffalo. I'm gonna make a show note to myself.
But if he's a New York City Garbage Man, where does the buffalo come in?
He's from Buffalo, New York City. Obviously.
Oh God. Okay. He is originally from Buffalo. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
It's just such a stupid tie-in, but I love it. All right. Well, if you get an opportunity this weekend to pop a squat outside, I hope you take the chance to look back and see if any beetles have become delighted by your offering to them. In the meantime, if you want to see poop on the internet, we're on Reddit and Twitter and Instagram and all those places. You can find us. We'd love to talk to you. If you've got nothing to say to us, just post a picture of your animal in our Reddit, and we'll look
We
at
love
it.
that.
We'll be delighted.
We'll
That'll be your
pumped.
offering to us. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bugs Need Heroes is created by Derek Conrad and Kelly Zimmerman. Hosted by Amanda Niday and Kelly Zimmerman. Bugs Need Heroes is produced and edited by Derek Conrad. Our music is Ladybug Castle by Roll Music. All character art by Amanda Niday. Got a bug question? Email us at bugsneedheroes@gmail.com. Check us out on bugsneedheroes.com for the visual companion to our episodes with the artwork of the bug-related heroes. We also have an Instagram, Twitter, and subreddit under the Bugs Need Heroes name. Thanks for coming by.
Give me a tendy, please. I'll take a tendy.